so Dynamite has announced they've gotten a new character for. They've basically got a new character in their ranks in the Dynamite comics. They've been snatching up all the pulp superheroes, and they've also got other like '80s cartoons. They're doing Robotech soon. They've got Voltron, but now they've added another classic character that's been around for a long time. They now and this character's been passed around a lot. Last time he was with Valiant and Dark Horse, but now he's found a home at Dynamite, and that character's name is Turok, the Son of Stone. Now Turok is, for those who don't know, Turok is a Native American who fights dinosaurs. Yeah, he goes around fights dinosaurs. That's what he does. He's a Native American who, in the original story, Turok found his way into like a lost kingdom, and he fights against dinosaurs and subhuman creatures and stuff like that. He's very cool. You probably know him better from the video games, more so from the comics. The last game sucked. I played the last game. The graphics are good, don't get me wrong. The graphics were really good, but the game mechanics were so glitchy. I'm not here to talk about the video game. It just wasn't good in my opinion. That's just me. I didn't care much for the last Turok game. But however, I think Turok's a really cool character. This is a guy who I saw in a Image Valiant crossover they did called what was it called? Deathmate? Yeah, it was Deathmate. And what happens is that Turok and the character from Cyberforce called Ripclaw fight, and Turok beats Ripclaw near to death. Keep in mind, Turok's a guy who just fights with bows and arrows and basic, Indian weaponry. But this is a dude who took on, Ripclaw, who was, a cybernetically enhanced warrior. And he beat him damn near to death. So it's really cool to see Dynamite, like I said, who've been taking up a lot of classic characters and breathing new life into them. Like the Spider, the Shadow, the Green Hornet, even some really classic ones like Miss Fury and the Owl and the Black Bat. So it is really cool to see Turok get a home among all these great classic characters. Now, I can't remember the artist's name, but what really got me interested to see more of Turok was the name that came up, and I was so happy that this guy's writing Turok. Greg Pak will be writing this series. That's right, Greg Pak. Most of you guys would know him from, a great run with the Hulk. It's one of my favorite Hulk runs. Peter David's always the number one, but I'd say he's up there in terms of just great Hulk stories. I mean, no one can really fault Planet Hulk, or I even liked World War Hulk. But yeah, Planet Hulk and his following stuff with like Scar and all of them, and he knows how to write barbarian-esque characters. He's really good with like mystical and science fiction creatures. And Turok's a bit of both. There is a bit of mysticism, there's a bit of science fiction in there. So I think he's a really good pick for Turok. So yeah, and Greg Pak's one of my favorite writers, so I gotta give major credit. So I really want to see this series, and I can't remember the artist's name, but I'm really excited that Pak is going to be doing Turok. I don't know how long he's going to be doing his run, because remember when Garth Ennis was announced to do Shadow, he only did I think he did only the first. I know he did the first one, but I think he also did the second story arc. He only did 2 story arcs, then he left. And yeah, so I don't know how long Pak is staying on there. Hopefully it'll be a while, but yeah. Other than that, among other things I want to see from Turok is that, out of everything, I gotta bring up the crossovers, guys. The number one crossover I want to see with Turok, I really want to see a Turok-Tarzan crossover. Because you guys know that, for those who don't know, Tarzan is under the title Lord of the Jungle, and Tarzan is under Dynamite Comics right now. And when you think about it, it's not too far away. I mean, Turok and Tarzan team up would be amazing. They both exist in the same time period. Tarzan has fought dinosaurs before and savage animals and, subhuman beings like Turok. He was raised in a hostile world, and he's basically the king of it, kind of like Turok. So Turok and Tarzan would be an amazing crossover. Out of all of them, that's my number one. Please, Dynamite, if you're someone from Dynamite is listening, please put Turok and Tarzan in the same comic book. I really hope someone's also thinking that. Like, hey, we got Turok and we've got Tarzan. Let's do Turok and Tarzan. Or, since How about this? How about this? Since Dark Horse is bringing back Predator, how about Turok versus Predator? That's my number 2 right there. Turok Tarzan number 1, Turok versus Turok Tarzan crossover, then Turok versus Predator at number 2. So, yeah, how awesome would that be? Turok versus Predator. A guy who hunts dinosaurs being hunted by someone who could, easily hunt down dinosaurs, but easily go after Turok as well. So, yeah, I'm all for it. But anyway, guys, that's really all I had to say about this. You guys tell me, what do you guys want to see? What do you think of Greg Pak writing Turok? And what do you think? What do you want to see from Dynamite writing this classic character? But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I am out of here.